Hi, I'm here to tell you a little bit about what a core planning team is. I'm not much one for cameras, so I've decided to point it at one of my favorite paintings. Please make sure that you've read the sample scenario that we've put in our project before you listen to this, so that you'll be able to follow the rationale for it. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about who makes up the core planning team and what maybe a typical meeting would look like. And then I'm going to describe a little bit about the scenario so you can understand a little as to how our software assessment tool fits in. A core planning team is made up of school-based staff, what we would call student services. So it would make up your resource staff, your behavior intervention teacher, counselors, and administration. They would meet 1 to 2 times a month depending on the need that is there. It is a program planning team made up of specialists within the school, and we go through the program planning process the same that many teachers would do for adaptations or modifications or individual program plans. So in a typical meeting, we would discuss roles and responsibilities. We make team-based decisions about students who are on our caseloads. So we might discuss who would be in line for a psychoeducational evaluation, who those students are. We might discuss who needs to have some further B-level assessment and decide which one of us will carry that out. We also discuss when it's time to implement adaptations and individual program plans. We often discuss how we best support our teachers. So for instance, this year I worked with a number of teachers to help write SMART goals because it is moving in our board and in our school, moving a little bit more towards the teachers writing the goals. In fact, they are writing the goals now. So that's a shift as a school that we've taken. So we discussed how we might do that and where we would find the time. And at any time during the year, any teacher can make a referral to the core planning team, and they do that via a form, and each board or school might have a different form. So when those forms come in, that is the beginning of the program planning process. As you'll see, the form has asked for the student name and a little bit of personal information, as well as to identify the problem, but also what has the teacher tried on a classroom level. So the team would read that and review it and discuss it, and then decide on what would be the best course of action. So I'm going to look at the case of Joe, this was an actual case. So a referral was made for Joe, and it explained a little bit in the forum about what the issues were with Joe. So when the team got that, they made some courses of action, and this was over a period of about a year and a half. So Joe just wasn't taken, and a quick decision was made, and he was swept under the rug. This was a whole program planning process that went over a year. So when we got it, we did know that something needed to be done immediately to support Joe and his teachers, or he would not be successful. So we did decide to do a file review. Typically, that might be something that we would suggest to teachers, but since multiple teachers were having issues with Joe, we we decided that it would be best if somebody on the core planning team did that. And as you'll see in the form, we found that Joe had been very transient from school to school, and so he didn't stay in one place long enough to have any assessment done. So we then contacted the family to make sure that they were going to be in the area, and he was in a stable home situation, and they are still living there. So we determined that they were pretty stable where they were, and so immediately the behavior intervention teacher connected with Joe and developed a rapport. And one of the biggest issues that we found as a core planning team was that he was having a lot of difficulty with task completion, and we didn't know why. So immediately, the behavior teacher started working with his English teacher and his social studies teacher, because that's where he was having the most difficulty being in English class. And we explored some technology that was a text to speech. And so that was done with the behavior teacher and the social studies and English teacher. So that was a very specific 3 people that were working together to support this student immediately and be successful. And that's kind of where, as we developed our project, that we felt the software evaluation tool would come in to play, because oftentimes when you have teams of people, it's great to work in a team, but when you support a student and you review a tool such as we did the text to speech, which in the end worked very well for this student, and he was able to actually pass the course, and it moderately improved the situation immediately. But when we reviewed it and we worked on it, it was only those 3 teachers who had that experience. And as we were talking about our jobs with the development of this tool, that really jumped out at us, that we did not have a place. We have all these collaborative teams that work really well together, and I think do a good job of supporting students, but we didn't have anywhere